Russian President Vladimir Putin may demand that US President Donald Trump withdraw the American military contingent deployed in all post-Soviet and, in particular, Baltic countries after the start of a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Financial Times columnist Gideon Rachman wrote about this in an article. Putin wants NATO troops to be withdrawn from the entire former Soviet empire, the article says. European officials believe Trump is likely to agree to withdraw US troops from the Baltics and possibly further west. Rahman added, "In particular, we are talking about the words of American diplomat Julia Smith, who the day before expressed concerns that Trump might make concessions to Putin and withdraw about 20,000 troops from Europe. Thus, according to Financial Times analyst Gideon Rachman, Putin is seeking to weaken Europe, making it vulnerable to the Russian threat." Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski spoke at the Munich conference and stated that the aggressor country, Russia, is preparing to send its troops to Belarus this summer. Are these Russian forces in Belarus intended to attack Ukraine? Possibly, or maybe they are intended for you. Let me remind you, Belarus borders 3 NATO countries. It has effectively become a staging area for Russian military operations, he stressed. The Ukrainian president also called for the creation of the European armed forces. He stressed that this must be done against the backdrop of the Russian threat to Europe. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump disagrees with Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky's claims that Russia will one day fight NATO. Journalists asked the American president whether he agreed with the statement of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that Russia would fight against NATO and whether he had any concerns about this. "No, I don't agree. I don't agree. Not at all," said the head of the White House. NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte commented on the likelihood of a Russian attack and predicted the alliance's possible response. If Putin believes that he can, without significant risk to his country and his army, attack even 1 square kilometer of NATO territory, he will face a powerful NATO strike against Russia. He knows this, and he will not dare to do it, he said.
Schools were closed and residents were ordered to shelter in place Tuesday after a large fire broke out at an aerospace manufacturer's facility in a town north of Philadelphia, officials said. According to Associated Press, the fire broke out at SPS Technologies in Jenkintown around 9:30 p.m. Monday, and witnesses said there was an explosion and flames could be seen inside the warehouse, the Abington Township Police Department said in a statement on social media. The building was evacuated, all employees were accounted for and no injuries were reported. SPS Technologies describes itself as a developer, manufacturer and global supplier of a line of aerospace fasteners and precision components. The Abington and Jenkintown school districts and all private and parochial schools were closed Tuesday. The shelter-in-place order was in effect until the incident was under control because smoke and particulates from the fire were filtering across the area, officials said. Hazmat crews were monitoring air quality and advised all businesses within a 1-mile radius to remain closed until further notice. Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority warned that service was suspended on 3 regional rail lines to start the day due to the fire, noting that it could cause delays in other parts of the system.